Hello, welcome back to the next episode of AG Engineering. This is a continuation of the Clarkson tool and cutter grinder work that I started a little while back. In the previous video, or videos, which I haven't edited yet, I don't know how it's going to work out, whether it's one or two, I completed, for the most part, making that what's it called, tooth rest bracket for general work there. That drawing and the one I'm going to be doing next is courtesy of bedroomworkshop.com, Stephen Vine. I've been in touch with him recently, and we've had a little bit of discussion by email, and he's got a few photos of my machine over there and some of the work that's been done so far, and he's more than happy for me to use the drawings that were originally done by, I think it was Ian Pendlebury. More than happy for me to use those in these videos, so a big thank you to Stephen for the help and support on this job. And he's posted a few of the photos, I say, on his website already. So take a look at those, and he's going to be he says he'll do a link to the videos as and when I get them uploaded to my YouTube channel. So a bit of collaboration going on there, and hopefully it's useful for any of you out there that have got a Clarkson tool and cutter grinder that need a little bit of support work on. So where are we? I'm going to make a start today on the what's labelled as Clarkson Mark 1 spiral tooth rest. That's that one there. That's, if we hold that up a bit, just checking the video there, that's that one there. As I say, you can find these on bedroomworkshop.com, so have a look out for those if you want a little bit more information on it. I made a little start, just as I did with the previous one, quite a while ago, last year actually. I turned a boss that forms part of this this job. So it's essentially made out of one piece there. So we're checking the camera, make sure we're in picture. It's essentially one piece there. I haven't got a piece of material big enough to carve this out of, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to fabricate this part here, this tapered part, which starts out at about 35 millimeters. Fabricate that, and this piece here and the T-piece I'm going to weld on, so I'll do it in several little bits. So the last one I made, I cut this semicircle out on the Colchester, doing an interrupted cut, which wasn't the best. So this time I'm going to cut a rough piece off and mount it up on the faceplate again, most likely, or maybe even in the milling machine actually. I'll see how it works out, and effectively drill a hole through it first and get that semicircular part sorted. So I've got a piece of material here, piece of that was AM3, ready, right width for my boss there. So I'll get this set up and cut a piece off it, and we'll reconvene, as they say, at either the mill or the lathe. We'll see in a little while. So catch up soon. Next clip. I'm going to try something a little bit different here. I'm just putting a centre drill in the position where I want to establish this 35mm hole. And then what I'm going to try is if I can get through it with a hole saw to take the bulk of the material out. Just took the speed up a little bit, put the pressure on a little bit more. Right, I've had a few issues with the chuck coming off the Morse tape or the Jacobs tape, B60, whatever it is, on that keyless chuck. Rubbish things. So I've gone back to the old faithful proper Jacobs one. I never seem to have had much luck with keyless chucks in one form or another. This is way beyond what you should be asking of a hole saw to cut. Through. There we are. That's just done with the hole saw on a piece of 10mm thick bar. I'll cut it off at this point now and see if I've got to do any more dressing to clean it up to fit the round piece. Now, to be fair, that's not a million miles away, so I think all I'm going to do is clean that up with a die grinder and fettle it manually, fettle it by hand, get it to fit in. So it just shows an alternative way of doing some of these things if you haven't got a big enough lathe, or if you haven't got a milling machine, or if you haven't got the cutter. There's other ways round things. So I'll get the die grinder set up and we'll have a little bit of a fettle at it. Again, I'm doing this with a die grinder, but you could simply use a file. If it's got a plug on the end of it, it's normally easier. Yep, that'll do. I'll have a look where I go next. I'll probably sort out the other piece first before I go welding it together. Get all the pieces sorted out, and then look at welding at the end. Okay, I've cut my little piece there, my smaller, my thin apartment, about 19mm wide piece to fabricate this shape. It sits at an angle of 113 degrees, so I'll start by marking that across there and get my 113 degrees established. Cut that off, and then that gives me the start of the shape, which is kind of like that. So I'll mark that out, and I'll go and cut that. So back in a moment again. There's that bit cut. I've moved it in a bit closer so you can see it look a bit better. So at the moment we've got 3 parts. The turned part there, and the main body, and that piece to be welded on there. I'm thinking next I may actually weld that piece on like that, and then I can get a more accurate measurement of, lay this out to get a more accurate measurement of that length. So yeah, that can be the next bit. I'll do a little bit of V-ing on there, ready to weld it on. I'll leave all this extra on because that can all be cut off in one piece at the end. So we'll set up for welding. There we are, the 2 pieces prepped, a little V in there, and set up on the magnet. Just check our angles there. 13. There's a smidgen off there. I don't think it's overly critical. Yeah, we're okay on that side as well. That's it. I'll get a little tack in there and turn it over, tack the other side. Flip her over, do the other side, same way. With that welded, I'll clean it up after the cutting. I've just marked out an approximate shape for the next cuts on the piece, so I'll hop over to the bandsaw and trim them off, and then look at fettling it roughly to shape. And then there's this piece to go on the end across that way as well. So I won't show the bandsaw in part at this stage. I'll get it cut ready. Well, that's after cutting it out roughly with the bandsaw. A little bit more fettling to do yet. I want to put a little bit more weld into there. Next stage is to put this block onto there, weld that onto there, and then cut that off to shape as well. So I'll get set up for welding again, get that tacked on. Right. I'll let that cool down and clean it up a little bit and chop that excess off. So back in a little while when that's cooled off. See you in a moment. I'm just going to give this a little clean up before I cut that piece off, just so I can hold it squarely in the bandsaw. But so far, the sides of fettles before I put the other piece on. Get that round bit welded in now. I'll do that off camera. There we are. That's that boss welded on. I'll give it another clean up now and get the holes tapped in it. Right, I'm setting up to drill and tap the 6mm hole in the end. I've already marked it out there. Couple of diagonal cross lines and marked in the centre. I obviously need to set that level and square to the spindle. I know my table is level with the level there. That's fine, and I know it's square to the drill, so I've set that just with the spirit level, and that's sitting right. Yeah. That's sitting there nicely. So I'll start off with the centre drill in the usual way. And we'll get this 6mm threaded hole put in it. This is one of the things that isn't absolutely critical. As long as it's somewhere in the middle, it'll be fine. Change gear. That's better. Make sure everything's nice and tight. That'll be enough. And for M6 there's a 5mm tapping drill. And this will go through this welded on piece actually into the material below. that's enough. And this I'll just start it going. Close. Just make a start with it like that. Nice thing with spiral flute taps, as I said before, is they clear the chips themselves as you turn them. You have to go in one direction. As you can see from that, the swarf's coming out nicely. At that point now, I'll release the drill bit, drop the table down a fraction. I'll just finish that by hand. As soon as it's a blocked hole. There we go. Nice, fairly new spiral flute tap. Good quality one. That I've used in previous videos. That's that done. I'll set up now for the tapping into that piece. For this one I'm set up in the mill, so I can use the digital readout to get the centre. Fit the edge finder. I'll find the centre this way first. Switch everything on. On it roughly with the middle there, away from it. Offset that a little bit. Make sure we're not locked. No, turn the speed down. And tap the work in until we start to touch the edge finder. Run past it. On the side. There's just touching. And there's a little kick. Zero the y-axis at that. Drop it down. Move it across 3mm. That's 3mm. 0 again. And the length of that part 36mm. So move across half of that. 18mm. There, 0 that. So that's put us in the centre in that direction. And we 0 to it. So now go to the side. Take it up. Offset it a little bit. A little bit more. There we are, centralised, a little bit further, and there's a little kick. So again, up, down, stop that at that point, and the diameter is, remind me, 34. So again, on the x-axis, 0, across 3mm, which is half the width of the edge finder tip. Like that. 15, 17mm across the other way. Zero that. Now that should put us smack bang in the middle of the piece of work for drilling. Eight and a half mil tapping drill for an M10 rub screw. The original drawing says M8, but if the original thread was M10, 3/8 width, then M10's closer. And I've got some M10 rub screws, so that's what it's having. Started enough. That's it. I'll get it out and clean it up, deburr it. Just put a little chamfer on the threads, start of the threads, and I'll see you back at the bench. There we are. There's the one I've just completed, holes tapped and cleaned up a little. I'll wash this off now, get the oil off it, and give it a coat of paint, and that'll do that one good. There's the one I did before, the what's that one called? The tooth rest bracket for general work, with a bit of paint slapped on it and a grub screw in it. I've rounded that end off a little bit more to match the drawer in there. So yeah, looking good so far. Again, big shout out to Steve Vine at bedroomworkshop.com for the drawings and the assistance. I'll move on next to the centre brackets. I'm going to print the drawings off of them, and we'll have a go at them and some centres and things. So look out for that one in future episodes. For now, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. On the note of subscriptions, I have been asked, do you have to pay? No, you don't. Subscriptions are entirely free. If you've got a Google account, which if you've got an Android phone, you will have, it's the same password and login details, then you can log on to YouTube with that and you can subscribe, and it doesn't cost you a penny. People seem to think you have to pay a fee, from what I've been told. I'll mention this in a separate update video a little bit later on, but please subscribe if you're watching this. It all helps, and yeah, thanks for watching, as I say, and look out for the next one. Bye for now.